Right then, we are back. International break. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. I hope all of you guys are doing good. Hope you're all having a decent week. I've been having a very bliss week. I've just been chilling, looking forward to Chelsea coming back next weekend. We got a load of news that I want to cover with you guys today. But before we do any of that, if you do want to get anything from the Chelsea Megastore, use the QR code on the screen or the link in the description. And GBFC10 gets you 10% off absolutely everything. I get quite a lot of messages saying, what if I don't want to buy the third kit? Does it work for everything? It works for absolutely everything in the Megastore. So make sure you check that out if you want to. But without any further ado, let's go through the news. I've got to literally hold my laptop up like this. This is the kind of vibe we've got on this little holiday I'm on right now. Chelsea have no current plans to sign a goalkeeper or centre-back in January. They will also not be signing a goalkeeper next summer. Chelsea have three keepers, Sanchez, Jorgensen and Penders, who are regarded as good enough to be their established number one. Robert Sanchez is an exceptional shot stopper and he won the award for the best goalkeeper at the Club World Cup. He has made a good start to the season and despite his red card at Manchester United, he has cut down the number of mistakes that he made. I'm actually inclined to agree with this statement here. This is Sky Cather from Sky right now talking about the Chelsea goalkeeping situation. Philip Jorgensen, I don't think he's good enough. And whether or not it's this season, where he's going to be the number two behind Sanchez, or when Mike Penders comes, I don't see Philip Jorgensen surpassing either of those two keepers. Rob Sanchez has actually been pretty good. Even the distribution levels that we saw against Liverpool, he's improved massively as a goalkeeper. And look, it was very easy for me to get frustrated with him with that Manchester United red card because fundamentally I don't think we'd have dropped any points in that game if that erratic moment of madness from Sanchez didn't happen. To expect a goalkeeper to never make a mistake is a little bit of a crazy thought. Obviously, we would hope that Rob Sanchez can eradicate all of those mistakes. But when it comes to Mike Penders, the more I see of him at Strasbourg this season, the better a goalkeeper I think he is. Again, a lot of people make the Thibaut Courtois comparison, naturally, because the bloke is from Belgium. But even the distribution from Mike Penders is fantastic. Strasbourg goalkeeper expected to play out from the back with the ball at his feet, and Mike Penders is already showing that he is more than competent when it comes to that role that Liam Rosenior is asking him to do at Strasbourg. Next year, I don't necessarily fully agree that Chelsea won't be in the market for a goalkeeper. Again, when we look forward, there was a lot of discussion about market opportunity in the transfer window that we have just seen pass in the summer. I still think if there is an opportunity for Chelsea to maybe bring in a Mike Maignan as a free agent or something along those lines, I think Chelsea would be open to it. At the moment, we're hearing everything's rosy, everything is good. Mike Penders, I think he's got a really bright future at the club. Whether or not we're going to see that sooner or later, will Chelsea be in a massive rush? If Sanchez keeps on improving, then I think we would be more inclined to maybe give Penders another season at Strasbourg. But I certainly wouldn't be ruling out Chelsea going for another goalkeeper. Let's move now into this piece of news. Good news, actually, for Chelsea. Reece James is expected to be fully recovered in the next days and be available straight away after the international break. Good news for Chelsea. This comes from Fabrizio. If you followed the whole post-match stuff, Reece James had what looks like a horrible cut, open wound along the front of his shin. And I believe that is the reason why he's no longer in the England squad. Chelsea actually, as much as obviously it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I couldn't imagine putting myself in the shoes of a footballer because I was never bloody good enough. But if the opportunity came about that I could represent and play for my country, I would want to be doing it at any given opportunity. For Chelsea right now, we've got Caicedo. I actually had one of you guys send me a picture of Caicedo and you on JBR in Dubai. Just as I flipping left to go on a little holiday, Caicedo is just like milling around the ends where I was bloody living. Fantastic. Could have said hello to the geezer. But Caicedo's not on international duty. Reece James is pulling out. And all of the latest early international break news is that James will be back and ready to go against Forest. So look, As much as I don't want to sit here being like, oh, it's great he's not playing for England, I want England to do well. And Reece James is England's best right back. No one can tell me any different when it comes to that narrative. He is the best. But for Chelsea, he's been massive recently. We see the Reece James performance that he put in against Liverpool. We spoke about this in the previous video. The daisy cutter passes that he was just gliding along the floor, the competence to fill in to different positions, stepping into the midfield, right back, centre back, come the end of the game because Chelsea had nobody left. Reece James, if we're going to continue to grow, we need our captain out there on the field at as many opportunities as possible. And as well as that, Malo Gusto is a different player when Reece James is on the pitch. Gusto as a right back with no Reece, I'm worried about it. Gusto with Reece James on the pitch, we're talking a serious baller again. Let's move into the next story. Tyreek George is likely to leave in January. I feel quite sorry for Tyreek George because I give him a lot of stick, but not because necessarily he deserves the stick, because we don't have any other striking options. Maresca likes to pick Tyreek George up front. I know it, you know it, Tyreek George ain't a bloody striker. He was almost on the verge of leaving Chelsea to go to Fulham in the summer. That would have been a great move for him. I think he'd have got a lot more minutes there, and he would have got minutes playing in his natural position. Now, obviously for Chelsea, we're a little bit strapped when it comes to cash, and we don't necessarily have all of the funds for January, if necessary, and even moving forward into next summer. Tyreek George, pure profit. I can see it happening. I like him. I think if we saw him play in his natural position more, then he would do very well. But we've also got the discussion about Bino Gittins and also Garnacho, which is why this story is an interesting one to discuss here, because Chelsea are leading the race to sign Antoine Semenyo, according to reports. Semenyo has scored 6 goals in 7 matches this season. Now, if you guys are subscribed to Shootout, which you should be by now, Eunice and I's channel, link in the description as well, you'll know that Semenyo is one of my favourite players in the league. I think he's an exciting winger. Not only that, but he's winning games for Bournemouth, scoring goals game after game after game. And to see Chelsea linked with him will get the majority of football fans thinking, this doesn't make any sense. Why would Chelsea be linked to Antoine Semenyo when they literally bought 3 different wingers to the club in the summer? Esteval, Garnacho, Jamie Gittins. The reason we're linked with Semenyo is not only because it's silly season. Remember that. Any transfer rumours that you hear about right now, take it with a little pinch of salt, because it could be total nonsense. But at the same time, I think Chelsea will be looking not only at the performances this season of Gittins, Garnacho, to see if they're actually the standard and the level that we want. I think Garnacho is quite rapidly growing into that role. I think Gittins looked very bright against Liverpool, and it would be foolish to rule him out. But I want to have a difficult conversation here about Pedro Neto, because I love Neto. I think every team needs a player that can selflessly put himself about the pitch. Sometimes I wonder if there's just not enough in the tank when it comes to, sometimes as a footballer, you can do so much work, and then when it gets to that moment where it's time to shoot, time to make that perfect cross, you've just overcooked yourself a little bit, and then that end product doesn't come. My fear with Neto is that over the course of a season, and unfortunately, numbers kind of back this up. And again, I want to stress, I love Neto, but we do need more end product from him. We desperately do. And I think when you look at players like Semenyo and the way that he can just single-handedly turn a game on its head for Bournemouth, you would want Chelsea to be in a conversation for that calibre and style of player. He's a brilliant footballer, can hit the ball. He gets so many shots away. Last season, shots per 90, Semenyo right up there. And I feel like we need something a bit more like that. I think Gittins could have it in him. Garnacho could have it in him. Tyreek George is going to leave. Mudrik's more likely to flip and be racing tigers on a TV programme than playing football for Chelsea ever again. That's the truth there. I wonder if, even with Quenda coming in, even with Esteval Willian, I wonder if Neto's position will be up for grabs next season. And maybe one of Gittins and Garnacho as well. When we bought Alejandro Garnacho, I thought Chelsea might be seeing this as an opportunity. Bring him in for a low price. Hopefully he can fulfill his potential. Sell him for a little bit more. Gittins was already very expensive, and a lot of people are already saying, well, was he even worth that amount of money that Chelsea spent on him? I don't want to draw a line under this yet. I think Gittins will improve. Garnacho is improving, and I love Neto, but I wonder if Chelsea are looking now over the course of last season, this season too, and thinking, he works really hard for the team, but are we actually getting enough out of him? I want to know what you guys think about this, because seeing Chelsea linked with someone like Semenyo, I've obviously got it in my head. I'm like, Esteval, he's the boy. He's the superstar, yes. Cole Palmer can also play on the wing, right? We've also got Giovanni Quenda coming in from Sporting, who a lot of people are saying could also be a potential Ballon d'Or winger. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are serious talents here at Chelsea. And I just wonder if the shelf life, potentially, of a Neto will come into question unless he can deliver week on week. Yes, he can play on the right wing and the left wing. And I do only think it's a matter of time before we start seeing Esteval start every game. We can't not start him every game. He's got that much talent and ability. And then Garnacho is more naturally suited, I think, to that left touchline position as well. So, interesting one to follow. Semenyo to Chelsea. And my questions would be on Neto, Garnacho and Gittins. Who is going to take the mantle? Who is going to take that role, make it their own? Let's see moving forward. The next piece of news here. Chelsea looked at the possibility of signing a central centre-back in the summer, but the only high-quality option available was Dean Howson, and he decided to join Real Madrid from Bournemouth. Dean Howson has obviously gone to Real Madrid. He's had a decent start to life there too. Marc Guéhi is the name to watch, I think, for me, because as much as it was looking like it was dead certain that he would go to Liverpool in the summer, didn't happen. He's not going to sign a new deal at Crystal Palace. Maybe if we do see Chelsea struggling in the centre-back position, and look, to have all 6 of your centre-backs, Trev obviously suspended, but to have 5 of your 6 centre-back options injured, one of the guys suspended, if Chelsea aren't looking at centre-back options when you've got the injury records of Wesley Fofana, Benoit Badiashile, as great as he was in that game against Liverpool, he still came off with another injury. Chelsea have to be prepared here. And I think Marc Guéhi should be a name that we are looking at next summer. If we can get him in on a free, you've got the likes of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, so many clubs will be looking at Marc Guéhi. He's a serious player, England centre-half. I'd love to see Chelsea back in the market for him. So, the final story of today's Chelsea news. Chelsea hierarchy, not that they aren't taking red cards seriously, they were unfazed by Enzo Maresca's red card. They love the passion, they love what it means to him, and everything the club coming together. Listen, Enzo Maresca's celebration was amazing. I have played these videos back every day since the end of that Liverpool game. The feeling as a result of that win was, you could see it on everybody's faces. The fans inside the bridge, the noise at the bridge, electric, sensational. And managers, right, celebrating last-minute winners. I know that the rules are the rules. I get all of this argument. But to send a manager off for that, it's like I've never understood how a player can get a card for taking off his shirt and celebrating. Like, people use the phrase, the game's gone, and all of this stuff, okay? It really actually has. When we really boil things down to like what it is, like celebrating with your fans, a last-minute winner against the champions in our country, bookable offence. How many people genuinely think this should be a thing, right? And look, I think it's borderline hilarious, really, that the narrative about Chelsea in recent weeks has been, oh, red cards, discipline's a little bit questionable, isn't it? And then the man that's obviously then made substitutions that might not have worked out, he's the geezer getting sent off, but for all of the right reasons. I absolutely love it from Maresca. I think the passion was second to none. It was probably the best Premier League moment that Chelsea have had in recent memories. He won't be on the bench against Forest. I'm not worried about that game as of right now. Obviously, Forest can't buy a win for love nor money right now under Ange Postecoglou. He's already under pressure. He's only been in the job for 1 bloody month. No charity FC, please. Chelsea have got to take that Liverpool game, build upon it. And I think it's a perfect time, early kickoff next Saturday, to go and beat Ange's Forest. But anyway, going to wrap up this Chelsea news video for you guys now. If you did enjoy it, be sure to smack the like button. Shoot out, make sure you check the link in the description. We've got content going out. We recorded 4 videos for the international break, and I think the first one will be out either today or tomorrow. So stay tuned to that channel for more stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Come on, you Blues.